What's good, beautiful folk? Good dive back at like crack addict. Back again once again. Just wanted to shoot this quick video. I'm actually holding the camera this time. I don't have my microphone with me, so this one might be relatively short in content and in nature. Ladies and gentlemen, I made a video earlier talking to you guys about the struggles of being a foreigner in the Philippines, alright? But I wanted to give you guys another struggle. So we're gonna call this the struggles of being a foreigner in the Philippines part deuce. All right, let's get it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, real quick, real talk with the good doc. All right, so if you want to know, in my personal opinion, and this may be controversial, I'll go ahead and say this first. Preface and preface it by saying it might be a little controversial and people will probably look at me with their nose turned up like I done lost my mind. But hear me out, hear my dialogue, and you'll figure it out why I believe that this constitutes, in my personal opinion, as one of the biggest struggles in the Philippines for foreigners overall. I might have made a video about this. I'm pretty sure that I did. Just can't remember where it's at in the catalog. I probably blocked it by now. Who knows? Dog got over fucking 1,000 videos plus, man. This shit goes on forever. But if you want to know what I personally believe to be the biggest struggle for foreigners in the Philippines, too many Filipinas. Now, a lot of y'all gonna look at me like, dog, man, what the hell you talking about, bro? And I go to the Philippines, I got options for days, bro. I got one for Monday, I got one for Tuesday, I got one for Wednesday, twice on Thursday, one on Friday, few on Saturday. Drop again, I might take a break on Sunday, but if I got my Viagra and my Cialis in my pocket, man, I might be able to squeeze in another 2 on Sunday. But let me explain to you real quick why I feel like that might be a struggle. And I'll give you an example. So I was having a days out with the boys, you know, my OGs, my father and my brother. We were hanging out in the mall one day. And if you guys know me, I'm very fond of telling you things that my father has told me in life that kind of stick with me. You understand? Like, if you know the things that I've said about live streams, about the things that my father has told me, you'll realize, yeah, this is gonna be interesting. And I probably told y'all this before. Okay? But we was in the mall one day, me and my dad and my brother hanging out. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Filipino walks by. We all look, of course. I mean, you know, when you're alert and you're looking around, all eyes, all heads turned towards, you know, that pretty young thing over there in the corner. My dad turns around, looks at me and my brother with the most serious face I've ever seen in my life. He chuckled after he said it, but he said it with such a straight face. He said, sons, he didn't say sons, but he says, man, you can't mess with them all. AKA, he didn't say mess with. He says, son, you can't fuck them all. All right. And when he said that, we started laughing. But if you think about it in hindsight, ladies and gentlemen, it's true. You cannot mess with every Filipina in the Philippines. So granted, whether you go out on a limb and say, yo, bro, I got all these options, man. All these girls want to sleep with me. All these girls want to hook up with me. And I can do this and I can do that. And if you keep it low key, you might be successful. But ultimately, once the ones in the rotation get old for you, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, you're going to try to look for more. But what's going to end up happening is you're going to F up your own market. And the reason I feel you're going to F up your own market is because, well, Filipinas talk, man. Filipinas talk. Ain't a secret. And I'm not talking about, they're talking about how good your sex game is, but they're talking like, yo, I'm messing with him. She might be like, oh, I'm messing with him too. And if they all know about each other messing with each other, you know, it could be somewhat of an issue. Could be. Not saying that it will be. Could be. But what I mean in hindsight when I talk about you can't mess with them all, after a while, you're going to garnish a reputation for yourself. Everybody knows that the last thing you want in the Philippines is a negative reputation. If you're known for being a mongerer, nobody wants to deal with you and anything like that. I don't care how respectful you are in the approach. To an extent, you can only do that with so many women before you F with the wrong one and before you mess with the wrong one and screw over the wrong one. And she tries to ruin your reputation from beginning to end. Because, of course, who are they going to listen to? You, the 400 man? Or a Filipina? Common sense will tell you the Filipina. So you could probably try to talk and finesse your way out of a situation, but it's probably not going to work. So when I say that having too many options is a struggle in the Philippines, guys, I mean that. I mean, having too many options is a struggle because now you're forced to pick and choose. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's a struggle because now you got to pick and choose maybe one or two, maybe three or four, maximum of five. If that's how you want to rock, I'm not telling you that I condone that type of behavior because, of course, everybody knows black men don't cheat. I don't know nothing about that, but we're going to do a video on that later. Just wait for it. But y'all know black men don't cheat, so I don't know anything about mongering and none of that stuff over there. That's not over there. We done lived our lives and we've done that before. We in a better place, in a better space. Dig? So, when I talk about this and I say things like this, I want you guys to understand that, yes, you got the options, but now you got to pick and choose. Okay, man, I might be able to, knock this one, whatever. But then again, it could always end bad. Just remember that. It could always end bad. I've seen a lot of foreigners that have had to leave certain areas because of their mongering ways. And granted, you may not think of it as mongering, just being a player doing your own thing. You may not see it as a mongering tactic. But again, we have to think about the perception of the Filipino people. A guy that's in the mall with different girls every day, bad look. If you just take him straight to the hotel, not a problem. It is a problem, but it's not a problem. You might be able to finesse the market a little bit longer, but eventually there's going to be some overlap. Because when I say that there's like a 6 degree of separation in the Philippines, I mean it. Everybody knows somebody who knows somebody. I'm going to go out on a limb and say in the smaller areas, there's probably 3 degrees of separation. Somebody knows somebody who knows somebody. So it has the potential to end bad. And when I call, having these options a struggle, when I tell you got to pick and choose, when I tell you that you got to, find which ones work for you and kind of keep them good, keep them straight for the time being. And then, if you need to transition, go on to it. Again, don't condone that type of behavior. I say that because I've known guys who have come to the Philippines, and I like to tell this story. I think I've heard this story on another YouTuber's channel too, a kind of similar story wherein a guy may have been talking to a young lady, and he might have watched a video like mine or one of these other YouTubers that say, man, you don't really need to focus so much on one girl. When you come here, you should date around, get an idea, the feel for the type of woman that you want in your life, because, all Filipinos are different, this and that and the other, blah, blah, blah. Man, don't settle down, bro. Give yourself a dating chance. That's what we like to say. Give yourself a dating chance. So maybe you thought you might have had a good one in the beginning and probably she did everything that you wanted her to. She was cool, but you got somebody in the background, somebody in your ear talking that nonsense about, bro, you need to just date around, man. Why you all tied down with one chick, bro? Man, give yourself an option. Give yourself a chance to see what the Philippines has to offer before you settle down. And then once you've figured out that maybe she might be the one, shit, man, maybe you can circle around. But sometimes when you let them go, when you try to date the field and choose to, play around and, be a part of the game, when you try to circle back around because she ends up being the one that you kind of feel like you can see yourself with for a long period of time, she done already shacked up, locked down with somebody else. And trust me, one thing that I've noticed about Filipinos, and this is the funniest fucking thing ever, don't laugh at me, ladies, and ladies, do not take this as a sign of disrespect. For some reason, when I used to like a girl, and I try to circle back around, she always seemed to get pregnant. She always was pregnant when I circle back around. Always pregnant. It would have been with a local guy, could have been with a foreigner, but always pregnant. When I'm like, damn, man, she was kind of cool, man. She kind of did this, kind of did that, whatever. Circle back around. She's like, I'm already 3 months pregnant. I said, man, what is with the fertility of Filipinos? We need to talk about that too one day. But sticking to topic, man, keeping it here, keeping it focused right here. Keeping it on track, because Doc has a tangent. He can go off on one very, very quickly. Too many options is a struggle for foreigners in the Philippines. Now, like I said, man, your boy's good, man. I live a pretty good life, man. I got my things together. I got my shit together. Got my money together. I'm able to focus on just, maintaining one relationship as opposed to trying to foster and finagle and finesse my way through like 5 or 10 of them. That might have been fun when you were young, but I'm telling you, man, that shit gets old quick. Maybe not for my MGTOW Red Pill guys, salute to y'all. Maybe not for y'all, but for me, it gets dead quick, man, because the way it used to get on my nerves, though, and I'm going to be honest with you, the reason why I felt like it was probably in my best interest not to engage in such activity was because even during the conversation stage, my phone used to blow up a lot. And sometimes I used to find myself sending messages to the wrong people because I was trying to micromanage so much stuff. It was hard, okay? It was hard. So I would have to look at the name. If I'm not focusing on the name, or if I would tag it a name like where I met her, like, oh, I met like SM Girl 1 or Gmall Girl 2 or Max Eyesight Park Chick 1. You know, you name shit like that. And I'm not saying it to be rude, ladies. Please don't judge me, okay? I ain't shit, but I'm good. I'm better. I'm working on myself. Don't judge your boy. But when you used to name him like that, you be forgetting. So, you know, the level of conversation might just go a whole bunch of different ways. And when it does, it kind of creates an issue and a concern, especially when you're sending the wrong text messages to the wrong people, talking about, oh, are we going to meet today? And she'd be like, oh, I thought we were going to meet tomorrow. Oh, this, that, and the other. Oh, who you talking to this? And then that dialogue happens, right? So the struggle of having too many options in the Philippines is real, ladies and gentlemen. And I think that it really does play to the aftermath and the after effect of having these options and utilizing these options and, you know, partaking in said activities with the options that you have that usually lead to it becoming a struggle for foreigners in the Philippines. It becomes sometimes so much of a struggle, you literally have to leave the area that you're in. Marinate on that for a second, please. I'm going to leave it with that. Marinate on that. When you feel like you literally have no choice but to leave the area that you're in, you have allowed that struggle to become hella real. You've allowed yourself to have your cake and eat it too. And not only are you taking slices, ladies and gentlemen, you're eating the whole damn cake. And then you're eating somebody else's cake too. And if you don't like cake, you're eating somebody else's red ribbon choco roll. Or somebody else's Brazo de Mercedes. Shout out to all my Filipinos out there. That was one of my favorite snacks of all time, Brazo de Mercedes. I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you don't, I still love you. And if you're mad that you're staring at my black ass face because I'm super, super close, I still love you. That guy right there loves you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me go and get to getting, man. I got things to do, but it has been fun. It has been real, but it's time for me to go and get now. So the good doc is officially out. At least nako pa alam, which means I gotta go. Bye-bye. As always, love you guys. Sincerely do. Mahal kita. Bye-bye. Deuces.